Hell is coming soon. Diablo 4. Early access starts this week, Thursday. And then on June 6th, it will be available for everyone else. And obviously, I'm very, very excited about Diablo 4. Been playing the franchise since the beginning, the original Diablo, as well as Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. And I am very much looking forward to heading back into Sanctuary and play the hell out of this game. And I got to give praise to the team at Blizzard. Now, there seems to be two different teams, right? Night and day difference between the team behind Overwatch 2, in name only, and the team that's working hard on Diablo 4. Less said about Overwatch 2 and their team, the better. Overall, I have noticed a very positive response and excitement for Diablo 4 in the comments section of videos and streams and on the social medias and in the interviews, as well as all three betas. By the way, I did play all three betas, the early access beta, the open beta, and server slam. I had a great time. I played as 3 different classes: sorcerer, along with necromancer, druid. It was great. There were some issues that came up, but that was the point of the beta, to feature the game to new players, old players, as well as work out the issues that the game may have prior to launch. And for the most part, I felt like Blizzard did a fantastic job handling all 3 betas. Plus, they were very interactive throughout the social medias. There were developer update streams, as well as numerous VODs over on the Diablo official YouTube channel. They also featured all 5 classes that will be available on launch in early access: Barbarian, Sorcerer, Rogue, Necromancer, as well as Druid. They've also put out gameplay guides, various trailers. There's post-launch plans already announced regarding Diablo 4. I really do like the fact that they're doing their best to keep the fans informed about what to expect when it comes to Diablo 4, like with the gameplay in-game without spoiling anything, and their post-game plans regarding seasons, battle passes, along with Twitch drops, etc. But one of the VOD series that's been featuring on the Diablo YouTube channel that I've really been enjoying as an old school Diablo fan, that I think is really going to help bring new people to the game, especially when it comes to the lore and the backstory, is the Book of Lorath. Not only are these videos voiced by the same voice actor who plays Lorath in Diablo 4. By the way, fantastic voice. I could listen to him for hours, even if it was like the dictionary or encyclopedia or a phone book, if they still have phone books. But it's also very well written, these lore videos. And there's some animation, artwork to them, the music, the sound effects, a very professional package. And what I like about this is it brings something to the table for both new and old Diablo fans. For Diablo fans, whether you've been a fan since the beginning, or Diablo 2 or Diablo 3, it's a nice little refresher. And maybe it gives you a bit more of the lore that you may not have been aware of, like how it all began officially according to Blizzard. It's really cool to see the backstory as it's been fleshed out over the years and decades since the late 90s all the way to present day. The backstory, the beginning, the war between the angels and the demons, and how Lilith and Inarius and a few other angels and demons fell in love and ran off to Sanctuary, and the creation of the Nephilim, and then eventually humankind, the Sin War, the banishment of the Primevals, Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo, as well as the 411 for Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and of course the Diablo 3 storylines for anyone that happened to not play any of those games, because there's plenty of Diablo fans today that have only played Diablo 3, and there's plenty out there that have only played Diablo 2 Resurrected and 3. Not so many as the original Diablo, but it's good to have a refresher, as well as the lore, the backstory, to fill in as many of the gaps as possible and questions, especially for new players that are interested in knowing what exactly is Diablo about. So once again, props to all the voice actors involved in Diablo 4, as well as the writers, everyone that's involved in developing the artwork, all the way up to Rod Ferguson, the GM of all things Diablo at Blizzard. He's done a great job getting us excited for Diablo 4. And you can tell him and his team throughout the interviews and the live streams are just as pumped as the fans are when it comes to the fourth installment in the Diablo franchise. Well, the fourth official installment. I'm not talking about Immortal. And yes, I do have a phone. But I will be playing Diablo 4 whenever the early access officially launches, coming up on Thursday. By the way, if you want to know more about the official launch times, Twitch drops, preload info, check out the video I posted below in the description section when it comes to what you need to know regarding Diablo 4. While I'm very excited about Diablo 4 as we're approaching the early release date and of course the big launch on June 6th, I'm not going in with my rose-colored glasses on. I think I broke those years ago. I have concerns just like some of you do as well when it comes to Diablo 4 possibly not living up to our hopes and dreams and expectations. And when it comes to hyping things up, yeah, sometimes it can get hyped up a little too high. And no matter how good the game is when it comes out, some people are just never happy. And I hope that most people at least aren't up at that level of expectations, like Mount Ariat, which was destroyed at the end of Lord of Destruction. It's more of a crater now. The point is, I just want this game to be good. I want it to honor the previous Diablo games and bring in new fans and appease to old fans. And the Battle Pass system is definitely a concern that I have. Now, there's different tiers. I think the first season is going to be okay when it comes to the Battle Pass, but I guess my concern here is the future seasons being more pay-to-win-ish. I don't want it to ever become that. I want this to be a welcoming game to new players because there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to jump into Diablo 4 at launch. In fact, a very good friend of mine, Azerlyn, she is not really interested at launch when it comes to Diablo 4, but she may pick it up sometime down the road. And I want her to have just as much of an enjoyable experience as those of us on day one. So yes, no pay to win. Hopefully that will not be a thing, and Battle Pass will only be cosmetic. Buffing, nerfing characters, abilities, things that aren't necessary. Yeah, I realize sometimes characters have to be buffed or nerfed, and abilities, same thing. But I hope it's not done to the point that makes a character or an ability like no longer enjoyable to play or use or completely unplayable. I do worry about the game being broken somewhere down the road. Hopefully that doesn't happen at launch and that we don't have a repeat of what happened with its predecessor, Diablo 3. To Blizzard's credit, they did turn Diablo 3 around. But yeah, Diablo 3 didn't exactly get off to the best start, so let's hope that history doesn't repeat itself. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of games that have launched that have been disappointments, disasters, riddled with bugs and issues and problems. I sincerely hope that Diablo 4 isn't one of them. I don't think it's going to be because the team at Diablo Blizzard have put a lot of work into making sure that's not the case. So credit to Rod Ferguson and everyone involved in his team over the past, 3 years since the first trailer for Diablo 3. Yeah, they put a lot of work, especially over the past few months with these betas. And we saw issues in the betas that came up. But overall, thoroughly enjoyable experience all 3 times for me personally. I maxed out the Sorcerer as well as the Necromancer to 25, and then recently the Druid during Server Slam all the way up to rank 20. Unfortunately, I was unable to beat Ashava and get the Horn, but it's not the end of the world. Or is it? Early access in just 2 days from now, and the big launch, Hell Breaks Loose, June 6, 2023, on PS5, Xbox Series, as well as PC. Are you excited about Diablo 4? When was the first game in the Diablo franchise that you got into? Is Diablo 4 going to be the first game for you? Or was it 3? Was it 2 Resurrected? Or was it Diablo 2, the original Diablo 2? Or all the way back to the very first Diablo? And what class are you planning on venturing through Sanctuary first in Diablo 4, either during early access or when the game officially launches on June 6th? Feel free and let me know below in the comment section.